This is going to be a video that may be broken up into a few parts. This is going to be part one, and this is our process for searching for and finding off-market properties, starting with the county appraisal district database. This process would be the same if someone just sends us a property and we are searching starting with an address, and obviously we would just go to whatever county appraisal district's website, or if it's a county that we're working in, you will either download their data files and then get them linked into an Excel spreadsheet utilizing someone on Upwork or another database relationship software if you know how to do that, or if it's a folder that we have already done that to, you will begin working through that folder. And this is for buy and hold properties and properties that we may be looking for land to do land development projects on. But this process is really the same for any house, property, anything that we want to dive into deeply and figure out as much as possible about that property. The process really is not going to change. And so we will have a buy and hold folder and a land folder, and then we will have months, and then there will be the week of the month that you are searching for these. And the goal is to do 50 buy and hold and 50 land deals per week and begin marketing to them. And please always keep in mind the most important thing is that you get these to a place where you have marketed to them, you know who the owner is, you have a direct point of contact with the owner, and you can then begin long-term follow-up, as most of these will not become deals right away. These are for us to dig deep into properties, to spend the time to figure out who owns them, and then to begin long-term marketing. So this is a list of self-storage properties in Bexar County. There's about 296 of these, and I'm going to go pretty fast, so if you need to read watching this, please do that. And we want to start with the address. So the address is always a good thing to start with, and I always just Google search the address and try to get some basic information about the property and its physical condition and who may own that particular property. This was happening earlier, so we're just going to zoom in here and then grab our little man and drop him here so he's looking at the property. And this looks like that warehouse that they were talking about. So this is probably the storage facility. So this is obviously not owned by a large operator. It is not nicely paved. It is definitely in a rural area, but there may be some value here. So then we want to grab the property ID or the address. Either can be put into the county appraisal district's website. And do we have the right? Yeah. Make sure you're lining up there on the right thing. There you go. And this can be used to pull up the full county appraisal districts. Look into that website. Not to that website, to that property. So their DBA is that 181 Bowden Mini Storage. Here's the owner, the company name of the owner. Here's a mailing address. Here's when they purchased it. And this is what we want to look into. So we would take this deed number and we would go into the county deed records and we'd search and we'd figure out what the deed is. To do that, you're going to be doing new search and putting it in there and then hitting search. I have done that. Here it is. Here's that deed. And we can see we always want to download these deed files by add to cart, express checkout, and then downloading the folder, the file. And I've already done that. And so that file is this deed that shows that they have a loan to Jefferson Bank for $198,000. This is very good, helpful information to see kind of what their basis in the property is. We also have a Brian P. Brady, who is the manager of 181 Bowden Mini Storage. So he is a good point of contact to try and reach out to when we're trying to figure out what is going on with the property. They do have a recent survey on it. That's good. So we want to be adding this information. So we've saved the BCAD file. Okay, there's that deed number. We've saved the deed records. It's good to know. And then we search this mailing address on Google. And we search this mailing address on Google. We come to this Rebecca Creek Bed and Breakfast at this 13084 Rebecca Creek Drive. Okay, 1384 Rebecca Creek Road. Here we go. So there's a number here that we could call to maybe get a hold of the owner who obviously lives or is associated with that property. They have a Facebook group. We can save, we can do a screenshot of this page. We can do a screenshot of this page to get this number. We have a website. If their website's working, we would want to save that information. But then we also want to grab this owner's name from the deed records, and we want to search it in the Secretary of State's website, MPS Storage Incorporated. So we go to the Texas Secretary of State's website. Not the forms, we can just get the website. sos.texas.us. So we want to go to this SOS Direct file and business, and I've already logged into here. Every search is a dollar, and we will begin searching for and pulling in the information that's related to this file. Looks like it's going to make me log in again. That stinks. Spend an extra $1 here. These searches cost $1. We want to go to Business Organizations, Find Entity. And we're looking for the entity. We want to have exactly what is on the county website's ownership page. MPS Storage Incorporated. MPS Storage Incorporated. We search the entity name here. And we find their top result. Here's their filing number. Here's their registered agent. This will most likely be an attorney. Here's that same mailing address. We can look at the filing history. We can download any of these documents by clicking here. We can see additional names that they are working under. They sometimes will have management information. All these people are going to this Rebecca Creek Road. They have one assumed name, and there are no associated entities. And so I downloaded a lot of that information already. Under the ownership SOS, here's their original filing documents. Here's some refiling documents. We start to get phone numbers, additional phone numbers. Here's this Christopher Weber. Here's Michael Boatwright, their CPA. He's going to have contact information. So then we need to begin calling these phone numbers that we are reaching out to. You want to always, so we want to have a BCAD for the full summary. We have the deed records. I always name at the beginning of this, I put the address and then CAD property details. And then we need to have a summary page. And this summary page is always going to be dated. It needs to have basic information about the property. Rural Boat and Mini Storage, the original loan was for $198,000 Jefferson Bank. I put the date of the original loan, the current appraised value is this. Owners are local, begin listing ownership information. We've dug into the Christopher Weber. We found his page. Here's where he most likely lives. This is probably his address. Here's a telephone number for him. He'd be a person to reach out to. And we are always reaching out to these people. Hey, I'm interested in this property. And then, hey, do you have other properties you'd be interested to sell? Do you know other people who have interested properties to sell? We pay referral fees. Hey, attorney, we can pay you a fee if you help us with it. Another property we were looking at, we found it's a very large ownership group out of California that own a lot of different properties. We found their website. And going to them, hey, what are you looking to buy? Can we sell you properties? So this Westport Properties we found, they own another self-storage in San Antonio. Can we sell them properties? We always want to dig, and if we can't make a deal for the actual property we are looking for, these are most likely going to be more sophisticated buyers and sellers. They may be interested in selling properties. There may be a further level of monetization here, and we want to dig into what they maybe are looking to purchase as well. So creating the folder for the property, I would, as you're doing 50 of these a week, I would just start at 1 and go down to 50, have 1, 2, have the address, county appraisal district, deed records, ownership information, Secretary of State's, and then a summary page that's always dated where you're leaving notes about your marketing. And once we've gotten to a place where they're interested in doing something, we have a contact, that's when it can be moved to our CRM, Podio or otherwise, and set for longer term follow-up and copying all this information into there. But that's a quick overview of how to use the county district website, going very granularly, very manually through each one of these properties, making sure we're not missing anything. This is the entire record of self-storage that's in Bexar County. We're not going to miss any properties if we go through this one by one, add notes, add information, and then begin following up with these. We obviously have skip tracing resources. You'll be able to pull a lot of numbers from the Secretary of State's website, maybe from other websites. We can, of course, skip trace names and addresses of the agents, but get these to a place and then begin marketing. Make phone calls, set up appointments for myself or other people in the management, and let's get some deals done.